Okay, so hello, so my name is William Okeke. Okay, today's video is called "What Does the Bible Say About the Kings of the East?" Well, I guess I have to talk about that now, right? Yeah. Anyway, I don't need the map for that anyway. To find out which countries are the King of the East, I got my globe with me. You know. Yeah, because the Earth is a sphere. I know, I believe it's a spherical Earth, not a flat Earth, because that's what the Bible teaches anyway. So, what countries do I believe is the Kings of the East? Well, I do believe it's Russia, yeah, also India and China, Indonesia, but, I guess, yeah. But, but also the King's East could also be in the Oceania region as well, not just in East Asia. So I think maybe Australia and also New Zealand can also be other countries that could be the Kings of the East as well. Yeah, I know. Why? I know because I'm also counting the Oceanian countries as well to be Kings of the East. Like Australia and New Zealand. But what's going to happen to the Kings of the East? Well, let's go to 16 verse 12 here, and let's see. In the King James Version, because that's where I read anyway, and then we can read these articles. Because, I believe the Bible. All right, all right. So this one is about point if any. Both. Well, so the kings of the East. I think we need to talk about that. The king of the point is that and I know that Indonesia is a Muslim country, but I know they're counting Russia and China to be kings of the East as well. But the point is this: Russia and China are well, the point is that they're communist countries. They're ruled by evil dictatorships. And and this is not good. Now I will make a video pretty soon why I believe it's better to live here in the U.S. instead of China. Because I know there's people out there who claim to believe that China is a better place to live in the U.S. And to me, that's stupid. I don't know why they think it's better to live in a communist country and it is to live here in a federal, public, and democratic country like the U.S. I live in the U.S. And there's nothing has been happening to me all that bad. I've been doing a lot of things good have been happening here in the U.S. Now, I know people worry about the bad things, but there's also a lot of good things about the U.S. too. Okay, and I want to talk about those good things. I'll get to those pretty soon, though. So yeah. So remember, and one guy. And one guy commented me about my last video says about we live in a universe with 3 dimensions. Well, that is true. We do live in a three-dimensional universe. I just did not mention the three dimensions is because because I think everybody know. I think most people know that we live in a three-dimensional universe. Okay, I just did not mention the three dimensions, and that's okay. I just want to mention the fact there's no such thing as a multiverse. Okay, the Bible teaches only one universe, just one. Okay, not multiple universes. And that's what the Bible teaches. Okay. So we need to go to Revelation chapter 16 verse 12, right? Yeah. All right, so it says right here, and the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. So this is what's going to be happening to the kings of the east. The water will be all dried up at the kings of the east. So this is going to happen to Russia and China and India and Japan, all these Australia, New Zealand, Indonesia, all these countries. There are kings of the east. The water's going to be dried up. This will also be, the sixth vial is also known as the sixth trumpet happening as well. So the kings of the east. Well, let's read about this, okay? So that means the kings of the east are not really saved in God's wrath. Huh? Yeah. Just like neither is the U.S. either, but I know, but I know that the new IB is claiming the United States to be the end times Babylon, but we don't know that until the tribulation comes. Well, we have to find out when the tribulation comes to find out that the U.S. is the end times Babylon or not. Yeah, the United States of America. Well, I'm not sure yet. Anyway, so what are the kings of the east? So Revelation chapter 16, verse 12. So, here are the kings of the east. The great populations of Asia, Japan, China, India, etc., have been followed by the ancient religions of occult, paleistic evolutionism, and they have easily influenced demonic spirits opposed to soon returning Christ, especially when they see the Ephrates wither away, signifying both ancient boundary between east and the west has been removed, and they will recall to the terrible suffering inflicted on them by the demon horsemen from the Ephraimites just 4 years previously in Revelation chapter 9 verses 14 and 19. But now those are gone. They know that the plagues have been called down by the two witnesses, the last seen in Jerusalem. And they land promised of God to Israel and extended to the Ephraimites in Genesis chapter 15, verse 18. They may have resisted to the beast for the time. Note, Daniel chapter 11, verse 44. They will willingly hasten the land of Israel to fight against Christ and his people, and when the beast summons them this time. Alright, now we can read this part. Now, you can watch this 90-second clip if you want to about the kings of the east from the trumpet. But I'm going to read the article because I don't want to get copyright from YouTube. That's why. It's right here. Russia and China are spearheading a murder. See, if you want to watch this video, you can. But I'm not going to put it on because, I might get copyright from YouTube. That's why. So I'm just gonna read this part, okay? So the kings of the east. The Bible prophecy forecast of parting by Asia by changed world events. Russia and China are spearheading emergence of an Asian power bloc. These alliance of Asian nations, enormous global influence redefining the world order. Russia is expanding its presence in Eastern Europe, Central Asia, and Middle East and North Africa. China, too, is making rapid advancements, chiefly in island building territory in the South China Sea, building stronghold and critical trade routes in the religion. The emergence of this Asian alliance is actually mentioned in Bible prophecy. The prophecy in Revelation 16 refers to the time Asia blocks as the kings of the east, Revelation chapter 16 verse 12. Ezekiel chapter 38 prophecies explicitly this alliance is attacked by strongmen in Russia. A prophecy, Isaiah chapter 23, says the kings of the east will form a trade alliance with an end time. German-led European superpower, this cooperation will be short-lived. Prophecy in Daniel chapter 11, verses 40 through 45, especially for the time to the end. This prophecy should once, as the king of the north destroys the king of the south, and it will be troubled the tidings of the east. The Revelation chapter 9 shows altogether the kings of the east will amass army of 200 million. In chapter 9 verse 16. The massive away will battle with the German-led European power, also a Jesus Christ in his second coming. Well, if you want to call it that, for the final battle of Jesus Christ, the prophecy of the whole earth. Well, are you calling? Yeah. Well, first of all, you have to know what the second coming is, because the second coming is the rapture. Okay. The millennium is the third coming of Jesus Christ. So if this is talking about the millennium, the millennium is the third coming of Jesus Christ, not the second coming. The second coming is the rapture. And the rapture is after the tribulation, before God's wrath. Yeah, I know. I think the Trump is teaching the pre-trib rapture. I know it's false anyway. Right here, quite a few books prophesize Prince of Russia and China in prophecy. Yeah, I know. I believe in a post-trib pre-wrath rapture, and I'll talk about that soon, okay? So who are the kings prophesy the kings of the east? Well, let's read that right now. In the Revelation discuss an angel, the antenna dries up the river Everites, the king's seas might be prepared. From 616 verse 12. Whereas this, where the king's seas has muffled in many Bible readers without the narrations. The scriptures make their identity clear. The passage is about the modern day. The companion passage after 9 verse 16 shows that together the kings amass an army of 200 million. And this is a drop-and-draw figure many times larger than force of the amassed of man's core-filled history. The draw drops even further when they contemplate how many people were alive when this prophecy was written. Population estimates how that around the year 80 AD 90, when the Apostle John inspired to write his book, only a little bit more than 50 million people were on earth. That is compelling evidence to this prophecy is modern age. After all, only in quite recent times has population grown large to make a military force and the size demographically possible. Even in this age of population explosion, where an army of this massive come from? The historical data that nations generally able to find about one fighting man for 15 adults in the population is extremes, and no 10 adults could be made soldiers. In the United States today, there are about 50 million adults, and this means under extreme address America can find an army of 25 million troops. That is about 15 times the current number. But this formula is European Union's vast populations that could have force of around 40 million. The combined countries of Latin America that could produce an army of 48 million, and those in Africa 70 million. And the impressive figures are far from 200 million force that Revelation 9:16 prophesies will rise up in the end of time under the kings of the East. This is only from a combination of the Asian nations that the force is staggering size can be assembled depending on each eastern countries you include. It is not difficult to reach combined populations of 3 to 4 billion people, even accepting the world end of the estimate. It is demographically realistic to build a military of 200 million. Alright, see, it's this right here. See, Pastor Nico provides the detail about the kings of the East, of the mega army. First two shows, led by the Prince of Rouge, Messianic and Tobal. Young's Transliteral Translation. Messianic and Tobal are designed modern Russian cities, but the Rosh is variation. It's ancient name for Russia, once called Rus. The encyclopedias and commentaries of Jameson Foster Brown commentary recognize this. So the verse clearly shows that Russia's strongmen will lead this Asiatic liberation. Verses 2 and 6, Asian names of modern nations will be part of it. The line of Magog includes a modern China, includes the Gober and Tomorga lives in nations of Japan, the Koreas, Cambodia, Indonesia, and Vietnam. Ezekiel chapter 8 verse 5 says Ethiopia and Libya will be part of this Asian powerhouse in this verse. The names were actually translated to crush and fought verse, and these names were more actually reckoned to translate crush and fought. Okay, sorry. And the Darby Bible correctly readers them. History the readers that while some segments of people crush and fought sell in Africa, the rest migrate to India and Pakistan. The context passage shows that there was African peoples, but modern Indians, possibly Pakistans. Well, first of all, Gog and Magog, if you want to talk about that, first of all, well, let's get this Gog and Magog situation first, okay? You know, Gog and Magog are part of, you see, it says Monday Indians and possibly Pakistanians. Okay, so, first of all, you know, Gog and Magog starts after the millennium, you know, when Satan gets out of hell and starts attacking Gog and Magog, you know. This is, I know, Gog and Magog. The attack on Gog and Magog happens after the Book of Revelation. After the millennium. So, yeah, this happens after the millennium. So I don't know why this is talking about Magog being China and then Gog is Russia. I know, this is something I don't believe at all, you know. Anyway, let's keep reading this, okay? It says the book provides several very details, the largest army in man's history. Genesis 11 verse 44, Matthew 22 verse 21 22, and the clear of this is the Eastern force and many main principles of nuclear World War III. In fact, the reason the kings east will cross a dried bed of the Amorites so they can enter the Holy Land during the Third World War. Revelation chapter 16 verse 16 shows that it will gather along with the World War III's European armies at the place of Armageddon, which is the Greek name for Mount Megiddo, located some 55 miles northwest of Jerusalem. The kings of the east will be a simple Armageddon. to war against Europeans. But instead of fighting each other, both forces will end up binding together against Jesus Christ at his second coming. Revelation chapter 17, verse 12 to 14, Revelation chapter 8, verse 25. Yeah, I don't know. But I don't know why. And is this the millennium they're talking about? Again, the second coming is the rapture. The third coming is the millennium. The Bible calls the rapture the coming. To me, I believe the millennium is the second. To me, I believe the millennium is the third coming. Okay, the rapture is the second coming. The millennium is the third coming. I'm going to talk about that in another video. Why do I believe that anyway? But let's keep reading this. This is why simultaneously, so submarine presidency, military cooperation between Russia, China, and India, and others rapidly increasing right now. This is a pending cooperation within the foundations laid of the mammoth against the East power bloc, which is predecessor of World War for the return of Christ. Understanding of the proper details regarding Russia and Asian nations of end-time events. This open is tied these developments of the recopy of Russia and China and prophecy. You, me at a 10 of trends of trumpet.com, why the trumpet watches Russia aligning with China. Alright, well, but we don't know this is going to be World War III. This could be World War IV. You might already have World War III, and this could be, and this King of the East war could happen. It could be World War IV, or World War V. We don't know, and this is something we have to know about anyway. And I have my globe with me anyway. So the countries I'm showing you right now could be the kings of the East. And I know that, and this is something I'm going to have to learn about, okay? The kings of the East. So that's what happens. So that's what happens to the kings of the East, because it says in the Book of Revelation anyway. I live in the United States. I guess you can call that the king of the West. I guess I don't know. So let's go read. I'm gonna read this to you, okay? About this, So pointing false religions to damn souls to hell. And the goal to heaven is to believe on Lord Jesus Christ. Salvation is by faith alone. Agrees on Jesus Christ alone. Okay, and then once they're saved by easy believing the truth. Okay, yeah. But then you can't lose your salvation. So by easy reason that salvation is easy is believing in Jesus Christ for salvation. We're talking about next video. It's called "What's about Chinese Labor Day?" Yeah, it is true that China does have their Labor Day in May. I'll talk about that next video. Then I'll get into Cinco de Mayo, which is in May as well. And I know that Cinco de Mayo is celebrated in Mexico. And I'll get into that too. Though. Yeah, anyway, I have to go right now. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.